What's good, family? We are here in Washington, D.C. at Delta Days at the nation's capital, capturing content all weekend long. So I'm going to take you guys behind the scenes. I want you to see what it's like to film a conference this large, but also have to process through content in real time. So let's get active. So I've been working with Delta Sigma Theta over the last 4 years. We've gone from events like Good Health Wins at regional conferences all the way up to the national convention. And I've been capturing content to push to social media. And social media is key. This is how you get your messaging out to the world in real time. Now, what we do is we capture content, I take it, I organize it throughout my day, and then we do edits in the evening so that it plays in real time for those at home so that they can get the same messaging that their sorority sisters are getting on site. This gives an extreme value because it makes sure that everybody's included in the mission of the work of what they're doing within their organization. And for you as a business owner, it's an opportunity to upsell. Anytime you're working in a space, the more efficient you become, the more valuable you are to the people that you're working with. And so you want to be a solution. I say this in every video. Your goal is not just to be a photographer or a videographer, it's to be a solution. And how you do that is by problem solving. Make sure that you're working in tandem with the marketing communications team to give excellent content every time. That's why Delta keeps calling. That's why we keep coming back. That's why they pay us the big bucks. So if you're looking to see what that looks like on the other end, stay tuned for this video. I'm going to take you in for the behind the scenes. We're going to do some great things. Let's get back to the mission.
Yes, I thought you were up there.
No, could you hear me?
No. So I looked in there like it's at the stage. I was like, oh, I looked at the stage. I was like, he is not.
No. Yeah, they
No, this is fine.
Yeah, I wish they would have gave us a better chair. This chair is like.
Is it wrong?
You want to say hello to the people? Hey, people. This is Kelly, National Marketing Director, Delta Sigma Theta.
Yes, we're very excited. This
Yeah.
Jaren, what's her name? This is grassroots again.
What time is she coming?
She's coming down for makeup now. So
Okay.
Daphne is the director of our
Get these off.
educational opportunities.
Okay, so we are on site for a 5-day conference. Now, you can't do this on your own, all alone, without having a proper plan. I knew I was coming in as the sole videographer for this conference, so I made sure that ahead of time I had enough cameras, I've got enough data and storage, I've got enough battery to last me throughout the space. So as I'm working throughout this conference, we've got a 4-camera setup. That means I have a wide and a tight angle in every session that's got our long form content, capturing sound bites that I can cut down for later recaps. And then I've got a camera on a gimbal so I can move around and get different angles and reactions and things from the crowd. And lastly, I've got a handheld camera. So when I'm ready to run and gun, I can just pick that camera up and go and move throughout the building and just get different content. As we're going through the day, we're going between plenary sessions, which are their large speaking gatherings, and then we're doing workshops and breakouts where they'll go and get into the nitty gritty. So when I'm in those workshops and breakouts, I'll go and take my gimbal and just move out. And I want to get wide shots of the room. I want to get audience reactions. On my gimbal, I'm using a 24-70 instead of a 16-35 because I want to make sure that I can zoom in if I need to. If I don't have my 70-200 on my hip, I can use my gimbal to get all angles, still smooth motion, but also stable. So it helps me to stay versatile. Having these different cameras in my arsenal helps me to work through a room and get something that's dynamic. Now, with my 4-camera setup, my wide and my tight angles are locked down. I've got them on iFootage monopods. I'm using Canon XF605s. This is something that's long form. They are on battery. I have not plugged them into a wall. Well, I did plug one into a wall because it's got a smaller battery, but one of my batteries lasts for about 400 minutes, which goes through most of their plenary sessions as they're about 3-hour blocks. So when I set that camcorder down, I've got a wireless microphone system, the DJI Mic 2, that's connected into the soundboard. That's getting full audio, so it's transmitting wirelessly straight to the camera, so I don't have to do any matching later. This all helps me have a smooth process so that when it's time for me to sit down and do my recap videos, I already know where I'm pulling content from. For this particular conference, we're doing recap videos next day. So we'll film on Saturday, the recap video goes out on Sunday. So typically once I finish filming at 7, I'll go back to my room, I'll start cutting that recap video. And I've thought through the day on what's more than likely going to be included. I may not necessarily know exactly what I'm doing when I sit down, but I try to make notes throughout the day of what soundbite sounded good, who said what and why that would resonate with their audience, so that I'm already thinking through the messaging when I'm sitting down to actually put this recap video together. So this helps me streamline. Everything is about being streamlined, being efficient. The more efficient you can be, again, to reiterate, provides a solution for your client that helps them think of you when it's time for them to go back and do the next conference, right? So you want to make sure that you're thinking ahead. You know, who do we need to be talking to? Who can I earmark for interviews? What kind of questions can we be asking? How are you helping add value to your situation? Now, as we're moving through that day, I'm making notes for my recap. I'm thinking about what effects and things I'm going to add in. Sometimes, specifically for Delta, I like to do recap videos that are a little bit more dynamic because they have an audience that ranges from young Deltas to their Delta Deers, which are some of their generational Deltas. So we don't use the O word around here, but they're some of their generational Deltas. So I want to make sure that the content that they're seeing online is really showcasing the brevity of what we have here. It's active and engaging. It's got, you know, the movement that some of the younger folks are gonna want, but that it's still to the messaging that the legacy is for the organization. And so that changes organizationally. You know, some people are going to lean more corporate, so they're going to want to be straight to the point. Some people are going to be more dynamic. You think church content, things of that nature. They want stuff that's engaging and emotional. You have to be mindful of what your client you're working for wants out of your product. And so that's how you think solution focused. So it's been an incredible ride just working with them over the last 4 or 5 days and getting all of the content. And so I hope you guys have enjoyed the behind the scenes. If there are any questions, please drop them in the comment section below. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. You already know what it is. Jaron Collins, JCI Creatives, brand responsibly. This is Portrait to Corporate, where we do all things well, and we look forward to seeing y'all in the next video. Peace.